All right, let's get right into it. Forget about making millions for just a second. Today, we're focused on a goal that's way more tangible and, honestly, way more important, making your very first $10,000. We're going to break down a simple three-step framework from a self-made millionaire that shows you exactly how to get it done.
And this quote, it pretty much says it all. It's the whole reason we're zoning in on this specific number. See, that first 10K, it isn't just about the cash. It's your proof of concept. It's the key that unlocks the door to real wealth, because it's the moment you prove to yourself that you can actually do this.
And here's the absolute biggest takeaway. Once you've made that 10 grand, you've learned a repeatable skill. It's not luck. Making money suddenly transforms from this big, scary, random thing into a process, a recipe that you can follow again and again and eventually make even bigger.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by focusing on that 10K goal. Then, I'll walk you through 3 super simple steps to get there. And you're definitely going to want to stick around, because we're also covering the most important part: what you do after you've hit that magic number.
Okay, let's be super clear. This first $10,000 is not the finish line. Not even close. Think of it as the fuel in your rocket. It is your financial launch pad. It's what gives you the momentum and, yeah, the cash to start building something much, much bigger.
All right, let's dive into the first real actionable step. This right here is where you make probably the single most important decision on this entire journey. Ready? The question is, how exactly are you going to earn this money? Now, before we talk about what you should do, let's talk about what you absolutely should not do. So many people want to jump straight into high-risk gambles like crypto or day trading. The problem? Those require a ton of cash and a whole lot of luck. For your first 10K, you need the exact opposite, something that costs almost nothing to start and reliably puts cash in your pocket.
So this table breaks down your 4 main options perfectly. You've got your in-person services, like washing cars. Low cost to start, high profit, which is great, but you're limited by your location. You can only be in one place at one time. Then you've got local products, like selling stuff you make. Fun, for sure, but the profit margins can be pretty slim and your customer base is tiny. And yeah, global products can get huge, but they usually need a lot of cash up front, and you can get stuck just constantly reinvesting every penny you make.
And that brings us to the clear winner. The hands-down fastest way to get to 10K? Selling online services. This is why it's so powerful. You get the global reach of a product, but with the insane 70 to 80% profit margins of a service. The money you make goes straight into your pocket. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so you've picked your hustle, online services. Great choice. But how do you go from just having a skill to turning it into a high-income machine? Well, that brings us right to step 2. You've got to master that skill.
And this is the exact framework for how to do it. It's called the skill pyramid. Just think of it as 4 pieces that all have to connect. You have to master all of them. Seriously, if you miss even one of these, you'll just stay stuck at the bottom, working way too hard and never breaking through to that $10,000 goal.
So the base of the pyramid is positioning. Look, the real money isn't just in having a skill, it's in using that skill to help businesses make more money. Here's an example. You could edit videos for a small YouTuber, or you could position yourself as an editor for an entrepreneur who sells a high-ticket product. Same skill, completely different paycheck, because you put yourself where the money was already flowing.
Next up is leverage. And wow, this is a total game changer. You have to stop charging for your time and start charging for the value you create. When you charge by the hour, you're just an expense, a line item they want to cut down. But when you charge based on the results you deliver, like more sales or more leads, you become an asset, an investment, and your income is no longer capped.
All right, let's talk about reach. And this story just illustrates it so perfectly. So Mark Tilbury was looking for a graphic designer, someone who could make these cool movie-style posters. And where did he go to find one? Not Google, he went to TikTok.
So he searches, and this one person's work is just everywhere, completely dominating the search results. So Mark reaches out, and get this, the guy isn't even running a business. He's just a student, posting his designs for fun. He wasn't even trying to find clients.
A few weeks go by, his videos totally blow up, and his inbox is just flooded with requests from people who want to hire him. He literally created a high-demand business by accident. And the point is huge. You have to document and share what you do. Make clients come to you.
And now for the final step to earning your first 10K. And I'm telling you, this is the one that like 95% of people just completely overlook. This is what separates the amateurs from the pros who get paid again and again.
Just let that sink in for a second. It's not always about being the most talented, most creative genius in the room. It's about being the most reliable. In the real world, being organized and reliable is often worth more than raw skill. This is how you get those amazing, high-paying, repeat clients.
And here's the secret. Being reliable isn't a personality trait. It's a system that you build. This brings us to the top of our skill pyramid, automation. Use simple tools like a CRM, which is really just a fancy way to say a list, to track your clients and deadlines. Don't rely on your memory. Systemize everything, and you'll always look like a total pro.
So, you've done it. You followed the steps, you made your first $10,000. And seriously, congratulations. That is a huge deal. But the game is not over. Now we shift gears from earning money to making that money work for you. This is how you build real, long-term wealth.
And it all starts with this one critical mindset shift. This is the difference between just being rich and being truly wealthy. Rich people often see their income as something to spend, but the wealthy, they see their income as a tool to make even more money. Every dollar you earn is like a little employee you can send out to work for you.
So how do you actually do this? Well, here's a simple way to think about it. Start with your foundation, a safety net and a high-yield savings account. That part's not optional. Then you build on that with low-risk, passive things like index funds. As you get more comfortable, maybe you explore some individual stocks. And only then, with money you're totally okay with losing, do you even think about higher-risk stuff like crypto. Does $1 million feel completely impossible? Well, check this out. This is where being consistent becomes your superpower. If you invest just $5 a day, literally the price of a coffee, into something called an S&P 500 index fund, which is basically a single investment that buys you a tiny piece of the 500 biggest US companies, you could retire a millionaire. That's the mind-blowing power of making your money work for you over the long run.
So at the end of the day, that first $10,000 isn't just about the money. It's about forging a tool. It's proof that you have the skill, you have the system, and you have the discipline to succeed. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?